Let me tell you the story of a pink puffball named Kirby. Ever since 1992, Kirby has always been a two-dimensional guy. He's always been in the two dimensions, per se. For years and years and years, that's just how he's always been, minus a few spin-offs, like Kirby Air Ride, Canvas Curse, Rainbow Curse, and so on and so forth. But beginning with Star Allies, which I thought it was a great game, I think fans called out for a little bit of a change. A change of scenery, and a change in dimensions. This is that very change in dimensions. Against my every fiber and being of waiting for every single piece of content that a game has to, well, come out and be updated via DLC or otherwise, paid or free. I just love this game so much that I can't absolutely wait. And if you hadn't seen this game before, or if you've never played any Kirby game before, then get ready to be amazed, because this, and I'm going to just say this right here and right now, this is one of, if not one of the best Kirby games ever made. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Had to wait a little bit because I have to manually do this stuff. But God, that build-up is so good! It's so good! Like, there has never, ever been a start to a Kirby game like this. Never. Ever. And I played pretty much just like most of the vast majority of them. And this has never happened before. An intro stage to Kirby, like an introduction just before we get into things. Like, how is this even possible? I don't know, but the good folks at HAL Laboratories found a way, and it's great. Nintendo literally said, "Hey, Kirby, you can change into a car now, Kirby." And you still get your little hat, too, which is great. So, for whatever reason, we become a car. And, with the push of the B button, we can just vroom vroom. Literally just vroom vroom on out of here. Just like this. Yes, sir. Now, I know a lot of people say this is like, you know, really something for Kirby, and I mean by something, I mean people are probably very mixed about the fact that Kirby just inhales a car. But I say these mechanics work out great. And we'll definitely see a lot more of this as we go down this road. Like, literally for this Let's Play, and literally as we just go, as we zoom along the highway right here. And we bump! And unfortunately, we must get out. I seriously don't know how Kirby managed to do that. But that's okay. That's really okay. Because this is looking not good. whatever that creature is, we gotta save its ass. And I already took damage. Wow. Cool. These are the mooks of the game. These are the mooks. And I already took damage. And this is considering this is the normal difficulty. Like, jeez. I'm better than this. I know, I'm an expert resident Kirby player for 30 years. Actually, it's more like Actually, it's more like 20 years, but you know, you understand what I mean. You understand, man. Woo, you saved me. Thank you. But what about those other guys, the Waddle Ds? They're all captured and taken away. That sentence does not make any sense. And taken away. You'd never start a sentence with and. I learned that in college. I learned that in college. We fought those beasts as hard as we could, but they could keep coming back for more. And now I'm the only one left, aside from you. I have to go save them. I have to. But don't worry, Kirby said hi. Therefore, that translates to, I'll help you because I'm such a nice guy. What? You'll help me save everyone? That's great. So, your name is Kirby? I'm Elphalin. Nice to meet you. The resident cute mascot character. Of course. You know, this doesn't really fit for a apocalyptic scene that we have here. We have this nice cheery theme. But like, Jesus, dude. Crazy. Hey, Kirby! Hey, look at that. The other best Kirby character. Co-op with 2 players. Select play co-op from the pause menu to have P2 control Waddle D. Or bandana Waddle D, rather. You gotta say the bandana. Work together by playing together. Boy, am I ever glad to see you. I got pulled through that vortex over Planet Popstar, too. If you ever want a second player to join you, just let me know. I'll always be ready. So yes, you can play 2-player, and I'll show that a little bit later, because I can play with both hands. And, yeah. So that is very cool. That is very cool. I mean, Kirby at this point has been like a co-op thing ever since 2018, so I guess that's fair. But regardless of which, welcome to the realm. Natural Plains. And our first level for today, which was not the tutorial, is downtown Grassland. So as you can plainly see, we have missions, and this whole game is going to be all about rescuing the Waddle Ds, who have all been taken away by our new villains. And you bet we're going to do every single thing in this game. So let's do it. This is downtown Grassland. Now, let me change up my controls a little bit because I am more used to type B rather than type A. And here's something that you can actually turn on or off. Auto swallow. So for the longest time, Kirby games have always been, you know, all about, you know, inhaling your enemies and then, you know, swallowing them and copying your abilities and such, right? Well, this time around, a little addition has been added, which I think it's actually kind of neat, is that it lets you automatically swallow up any potential copy ability enemy. So I think that's neat. I think that's really neat. It's pretty useful. Right here's a red tulip. We need that in order to rescue a Waddle D. And by pressing select, or by pressing A in my case, you can drop an ability in order to exchange it for this one. We got Cutter. Now, you're probably expecting me to explain like the whole Kirby deal, right? Well, here's the Kirby deal. Kirby games are relatively simple. They're simple in the fact that, well, you go from point A to point B. It doesn't really matter which Kirby game you're playing, whether it be one of the numerous 2D ones or this brand new 3D platformer. The case is always the same. You go from point A to point B. This is just in a thrilling new dimension. And Kirby is all about taking enemies' powers and using them against them. So that's all well and good. And the ability that we have now is called Cutter. You basically use it as a boomerang of sorts in this brand new 3D space. And if you hold down the attack button, you can keep that boomerang or Cutter boomerang going for a little bit until it eventually swings back at you. Which I think it's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And that ability that we had a little bit earlier is Sword, one of the classic staples. They didn't really change that whole much with Sword, to be honest. So, yeah, they kept it simple. But what isn't simple is Kirby's new Mouthful Mode ability. We used it before to change into a car, but now we can change into a vending machine, which is called Vending Mouth. You'll be able to shoot soda cans in order to crush your enemies, because Kirby is all about, you know, using soda cans on your enemies. But just look at him. Look at this man. Look at this man. He is so gosh diddly darn elastic that he can stretch his entire being into infinity. All because we went through a dimensional vortex that took us out of Dreamland and into this, well, Forgotten Land, as it were. And right there, that was our collectible for the game. Because Kirby has always had some form of collectible. This time around, it's those little capsule things that we have. So, we're going to have to keep a lookout for them, and believe me, there's going to be a lot of them. Here's something that the game probably doesn't really necessarily teach you. You can press the R button to guard as usual. However, this time around, since you're in 3D space, you can dodge roll. So yes, because of the sole fact that this came around at least 1 month after Elden Ring, Kirby is Elden Ring. Or at least a Souls-like game, I don't know. It's all very vague and confusing, I know, but, you know, I'm just looking for things, just in case I miss them. Because I want to get things all in one go. I like doing that. And would you look at that? Barely any loading at all, even though the Warp Star is just purely masking loading times. But that's okay. That's all okay. Anyway, here we have Bomb Kirby, which we can actually use in the intro stage. Basically, you either roll bombs or you toss bombs while you're standing still. Now, in the past, you always had some sort of, well, not really some sort of arc, but you always had some form of attacking, whether it's be tossing the bombs like this or just simply throwing them like that in 2D space. Well, because you're in 3D space now, you can just stay still and aim in whatever direction you like. And here we got yet another Mouthful Mode ability called Cone Mouth. Yes, Kirby can become a traffic cone. Which, I'm just gonna say it, this is Super Kirby Odyssey. Let's be real. This is Super Kirby Odyssey, where Kirby can transform into plenty of different things. Much like Cappy did with Mario. And the fact that you can be like a tree or a dinosaur or whatever. Kirby can be a lot of things in this game. So, be on the lookout for all of his transforming abilities. You can also use this to attack as well as find hidden stuff. Just look for cracks on the floor, and you'll be able to, well, discover things. Like such as being able to dodge these Shotzos and their cannon fire. And right here, you can use Cone Mouth to zoom all the way up here. And that's an objective right there. Right to spewing water up the balcony. And here we got another capsule. There's nothing in this. Eventually, you will have to drop your mouthful mode ability because when the game tells you to. So, that's gonna be a bummer, but that's okay. And would you look at that, there's a Waddle D right there. Now we have a choice. Do I want to actually... Yeah, let's go Cutter, actually. I like Cutter better for this part, anyway. So, bada boom and bada boom. Deal with those two enemies, and we got our first mini-boss, which is Wild Edge, who first appeared in Return to Dreamland, but now is here in 3D space. So you go up behind. Oh my God! So you go up behind him, and you can actually just knock him out like that. We completely skipped past his second phase, actually. Jesus. But don't worry, if you know Kirby games, then we're gonna be facing this guy again and again and again. Because that's just how Kirby games do. Whether they're in 3D or 2D. It matters not. It matters not. Alright, let's keep things moving along here. So, it's like I said. Oh God. Actually, that brings me an opportunity. So you know how you can dodge roll, right? Well, time it at just the right time, and you'll be able to slow down time. So this is effectively the dodge roll done right here. I'm not doing a very good job at it, and I'm almost dead. So you know what? Yeah, no, we're not doing that. I'm not dying, even though we have no lives. Yeah, basically much like Super Mario Odyssey, actually. That's yet another thing. And here's Dome Mouth, by the way, which we can only use to open things. And basically, yeah, another comparison to Mario Odyssey that I've just found out is, well, the fact that there are no lives in this game. Instead, whenever you die, you'll lose 100 coins. Actually, you know what? I think this game is more like Mario Odyssey than we figured, actually, because coins are actually useful for things instead of just getting lives like the previous games. They're used for something important that we can do in Waddle D Town whenever we build that up later. And now we can use this to destroy this guy. Destroy this turtle. There we go with rescuing our third Waddle D. And we got another tool up right there. You can pause the game if you want to read up on the objectives. And I think we're good, actually. I think we're good to just keep on going and going. So, our new enemies for this time around, they actually have a name. And I really, really like it. They are called the Beast Pack. I don't know why. The Beast Pack is just so funny to me, because, like, in a Discord server that I'm a part of, that I probably mentioned a lot of times, Beast is, like, one of the best terminologies ever. It's called the Beast Pack. Beast, beast, beast. It's just so good. It's just really good, man. Owie. Now we get this big boy. And we're gonna want to dodge all of their attacks. And basically our main objective is to destroy him from above, but we have to go all around this place while avoiding his attacks too. And that right there shows that he can chew on those pipes. What if a pipe were to be broken? Or at least, you know, boarded up? Then we can use that thing to destroy the board, thus allowing us to do the thing that we are already doing, and then bada bing! We destroy that guy from above. Yep, we're good. And at the end of each stage, you get 3 Waddle Ds. Guaranteed. And there we go. We got 100% on stage 1. Not bad. And here is our collectible, the figures. The first one will always be Kirby. Kirby was pulled into a mysterious vortex that appeared in the sky over his home on planet Popstar. When he woke up, he was in a new world, just like the song, which is amazing. Traveling through that vortex also gave Kirby a new and mysterious power. Let's see what it can do. Onward to adventure. Ah, we got this thing. Captured Waddle D's. The Beast Pack. I love that name so much. Managed to catch these 3 Waddle Dees in one golden cage. If they work together, they might be able to... Oh, never mind. They're too sad to move. Ah, that's sad, man. All they can do is cry for help. Wah, 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 wah. Somebody save them. And yes, I'll be reading up on every single bit of lore. Because yes, Kirby in the Forgotten Land has that usual Kirby lore. It's just not in the place where you would expect. Got through the tunnel right there. And we saved all the Waddle Dees of Stage 1. Your figure collection is now available. Use this to view all the figures you've collected. See if you can collect the full set. Yes, we can. Now, of course, here we are in the world on the world map right here, which is one continuous world, by the way. And on the world map, we can... Let's see if we can actually... Actually, I don't think that's available yet. If you press the Y button, you can look up the stage list. So you can just warp to any stage that you want by simply selecting it. And by pressing the minus button, we can go ahead and peruse our figures. Which, there's gonna be a lot of figures. Judging from Volume 1, it has 79 figures. Jeez. That's gotta be a lot, dude. It is definitely a lot. And we can simply go back to Waddle D Town by doing it on the map, or, you know, simply pressing the B button on the world map. This is basically our main crux. The Waddle Dees are rebuilding their town. Save as many as you can to open up new buildings and helpful resources. And of course, as always, the first one will be the Waddle D Cinema. We watched some memorable scenes on the big screen. Now, of course, we only have 9 Waddle Dees, and we can basically see how many Waddle Dees open up various things. Like, we need 50 in order to open up these 2 resources. There's always going to be a Maximum Tomato that will restore your health all the way back up to max. And 60 in order to build this resource. Of course, some resources don't really need any Waddle Dees at all. But it's always nice to have. Always, always nice. Now, here's a functionality that is probably more useful than anything because it's literally just for items and nothing else. The Amiibo Functionality. This game is compatible with all Kirby series Amiibo. Doesn't matter if it's part of the Kirby series or Smash Bros. Series. If you have any Kirby character Amiibo that is Kirby, DDD, Meta Knight, or I want to say Waddle D, then you shall have absolutely no problem with using these Amiibo. So let me just get my Amiibo, my King DDD right up here, which I actually got on the same day that I got this. So let's read it. And there you go. As you can plainly see, we got some very helpful stuff like star coins and even this little item right here called an attack boost. We can save that for if we need it. And if we do use it, then that will give us an attack boost for 200 seconds. Very, very cool indeed. We can use another one, actually. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. I am going to use my other amiibo then. My Kirby amiibo, which I've had for years, and it was the only Kirby amiibo that I've ever had. And just like that, we got another one. So, let's use up our attack boost. You don't really use that for... the time for the attack boost isn't used up here, so feel free to just go. And right there, we got a life up boost, which will double our HP. Which, it can actually be very helpful in certain situations. What are those situations? That will be a thing for another time, I'm afraid. We have one more thing to at least show off before we, close things out today. And that is the co-op functionality. So, anytime a second player wants to jump in, just simply press the L and R button on the controller. And Bandana Waddle D will join you. Now, of course, this means that the camera will focus on Kirby, so the second player is going to have to just watch out. But what they can do is Bandana Waddle D can attack. He's basically, Spear. Spear Kirby from some of the older games. And he can, just do his usual thing. He can hover, which is nice. And by charging up his attack, you can hover and drop down spears from the heavens. Which, that's actually pretty cool, not gonna lie. That is pretty damn cool. And I didn't even get to see this attack. For real. I have no one to play with, okay? I barely have anyone in the house who can play along with me. So, bleh. So all this is recorded by me. Now, it is kind of stinky that the camera only focuses on Kirby. And it might be a little bit, unhelpful during boss fights. Since the camera can just zoom all the way out like this. And thus leading the other player to just be like, where the heck are you? I mean, very thankfully, the player 1 and player 2 is clearly indicated on the screen, so that helps. But, I don't know, man. I didn't mean to do that. I'm using my GameCube controller for this. It's all good. But yeah, that's what co-op does. That is how you do it. And whenever you want to go back to playing solo again, just do so. So yeah, that's basically the whole extent of the very first Kirby and the Forgotten Land. If this goes up, but actually, you know what? Yeah, this is gonna go up. Oh my god, man. You know what? It's so exciting. This is exciting. This is exciting because I've been playing this game a lot. Honestly, this Let's Play was going to be something entirely different, but I just couldn't stop thinking about, this game and how it's really well done and good. And just, oh my god. The Kirby fan in me is just, screaming. And besides, we haven't seen Kirby on my channel since forever. Since Return to Dreamland way back, several years ago. 2016. So I feel like with this new one, I feel like the time is right. And besides, it's a new Kirby game. It's a new and exciting thing that fans have been asking for. And they received it. So, I want to share my take of this really, really good game. And I can't wait to, show the rest. So with that all said, we are all done. So, next time on Kirby and the Forgotten Land, we're going through the tunnel. Ooh. Alright, see you guys on the next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye, y'all.